Well, hello everybody. Terry Levin at Awesome Dynamic checking in with you. We are doing the Awesome Dynamic Show, and I want to start off by saying that today we are going to feature Kaiser Chiropractic, one of the pretty local companies that has talked to us about some of our services. We want to get an idea of what their website and what their online presence looks like, and then Robin's going to jump in and talk to us about blogging, and we're going to do a lot of conversation on that and answer any questions you have. So I want to start off by introducing around the room. I've said I'm Terry Levin, the Director of Sales for Awesome Dynamic, and I want to send you down to beautiful Buenos Aires for Blake.
Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Blake Tintori with the SEO and Amazon side, and I'm happy to be here. Over to you, Robin.
Hi, I'm Robin. I do the search engine optimization, also known as online marketing, and I try to get your website higher up on Google. And here's Paul.
Hi, my name is Paul, and I'll turn on my video for a moment, even though it slows my feed down. I'm talking to you from Florida, but right now I'm on a Wi-Fi connection because I'm moving spots today, and that slows my video and audio down quite a bit. But I do have my Let's Get Our Cities on the Map shirt on, and I'm ready to talk about things that we can do to help you get found online. Back to you, Terry.
All right, thank you, Paul. Paul, I don't know if he said, but Paul is our president and owner, and he is down in Florida for the next couple of months running the show from down there. Anyhow, we want to get started, so we want to talk briefly about what we do here at Awesome Dynamic. So, Robin, if we could put up the homepage, that would be great. And we'll start talking about what we do. So the first and foremost thing that we do here is we create mobile-friendly, responsive websites. We want to make sure that your web page looks good on any type of device that people are looking at it. Over 60% of all searches are done on mobile sites. Very important that your site does a good job on that and people are able to see what they want to see on their mobile devices. After we have your website in great shape, we want to do some search engine optimization. We want to make sure that you are getting new customers. We're going to drive them to you by getting you found on Google. So we do a great job with that, and that's where Robin really excels and specializes. And Blake does a great job helping her with that as well. We are Amazon seller consulting people as well. So one of the things we do is help people get set up on Amazon, and then we take the people that are on Amazon and having all kinds of levels of frustration with doing so, and we straighten them out and get them some help and really develop their sales that way. We also are a distributor on Amazon, so we do have products that we actually buy from other companies and sell them on Amazon so that we can become a customer of theirs and drive their sales as well. And lastly, but not least, we do Google Street View virtual tours so that you can walk into your business online, have a look at it, preview it, demonstrate the size and quality of what you do, and also get quite a big boost on Google with the SEO based on the fact that you have that tour and your competitors do not. So that pretty much clears up what we do. We also have these webinars, which we do on a weekly basis every Thursday. We rotate the times between 12:30 and 3 o'clock, and there you see when we schedule them, and you can join in and ask any questions and get some advice from us anytime. Also a place there where you can watch our past webinars. We did a review party last night. That was our last live event for now, but we're constantly doing different free events and want to make sure you're aware of that. We have the awesome list, which you surely need to get on, so we can send you some emails to keep you up to speed on everything that we're doing, events, and just other pieces of great information that you may want to take a look at. And Robin, what did I miss?
If you like this webinar, you can always review us. Give us a 5-star review on Google.
Absolutely, great. Thanks for saving us. And there we are in all our glory, so you can see our staff. And we do work remotely, so we're all over. Some of us are in country, some are out, and all over. I'm in beautiful Vernon Hills today. And we want to start off today. We're going to do a preview of this Kaiser chiropractic. So this is something we do for people, and you can always request to get involved with this. We want to take a look at the website, see what's good with it, see what we can help with it, and then we want to look at the overall online presence of Kaiser Chiropractic and see how they're doing. So at this point, I want to just turn it over to Robin. And Robin, what does the site look like to you?
All right. The first thing I noticed is I'm getting some echo or feedback in my mic.
Terry, you might have to turn your volume down just a little bit.
All righty, try it again.
Okay, the first thing I noticed is it's probably an older website because at first I was like, what is this number? And I was like, oh, it's the phone number without the area code. So definitely need to put your phone number right up here, but it's good that you have the phone number at the top. I can see that it's not text, so Google cannot read this number. It looks like it's within an image. Uh, so you definitely want to get the credit for having your, your slogan here and then your phone number here. I would also put the address up here because you want people to know you're local. I can see that it's down here, but what you want to put here is more of a picture that represents your business. I can see it's something medical because of the here, and I can see that these are probably the owners here, maybe their customers, I'm not sure. And then we do have the word chiropractic very big here. But I would say you want a picture right here to set the stage of, you know, a doctor working on someone's back or some physical therapy or some equipment in there. So you definitely want there's a picture of a spine or something like that. Um, so you definitely want that right here. This looks, oh, actually, you know what? I'm on the contact page because I was trying to find where it was. So I can see that it's in Lake Geneva. But the home page, okay, so we see a picture of, uh, this is probably the owner here. And then down here we see a front of the building. Here's something I would not read because it's too small and it's too long. I have to scroll down and read that. On a phone, I have no idea what that would look like, but it would probably take up a lot of room on the phone where you could be selling. But I do like that you have the office hours here. I can also go on the contact page as well. Um, but overall, the biggest part is the phone number here.
All right. So what else? What else do you see? Do you like the way his pages are set up, and how do you think the overall flow of this website is for him?
It's a little too busy.
Okay. Are we getting the? I think you might have talked about this a little bit. Are we getting that 3 to 6 second feel of what we want to see when we look at this?
Well, I get chiropractic here, and I get this 3D thing here. But the request appointment, which you want, that's probably what you want them to do, your big call to action. I mean, the text is tiny, and I think I'm at 100% zoomed in. Yeah, this is 100%, and I can barely read this, and I'm right next to the screen. So on a mobile device, you're not going to be able to read this. Um, Instead of having the request appointment button, why not have 3 fields right here where it just says name, phone number, and a message, and then they can fill it out right on this page without ever leaving the home page. Yeah, so similar to this. I would say you have too many fields here. What you want them to do, what you want is just for whoever receives this message, you want them to call back that person.
Robin, would you mind going back to that website for a second? I wanted to make some comments, if I may. Taking a look at this, that Terry, you mentioned the 3 to 6 second story. What does the site tell you? I see 2 people in the upper left, and like Robin said, I don't know who they are. So having maybe a label on, if they are people that work at the business, if that is Dr. Kaiser right there, having a title Dr. Kaiser and so there would be good. But I'm trying to understand why that picture is there and who those people are and what that has to do with chiropractic care. So well-placed picture is great so long as it makes sense. So you got to look at it from the perspective of a new customer who's never been to you before.
It looks like a dating site, yeah.
It does. Look, you got a warm embrace, but I don't know why they're up there. And then obviously it says Kaiser Chiropractic there. We see a picture of the doctor a little bit farther down with the tie, his shirt and tie and jacket, which brings some professionalism and trust to the website. You see the person who actually is the doctor there, but I don't see anything about, well, what is it like when I go in the office? What makes him different And how do I get that impression without having to read all these paragraphs of text? And you know, people aren't going to read the paragraphs and learn all about you in the first 3 to 5 seconds in that manner. You have to do it in a way where you know, very impactful pictures with text over them, just a few words of text over them to really drive home what your unique selling proposition is. So if you scroll down, you can see that we do have a picture of the front of the place, but I imagine that you have a very warm and inviting lobby or waiting room, and I don't get to see that right away here. I'm sure you have very uh, employees that are very friendly to people when they walk in. I want to see their faces. I want to see them smiling, so I know, oh wow, I walk in here, this is the feeling I'm going to get when I get in there.
Or you could use stock photography.
Yeah, you can use stock photography to accomplish a lot of these different things, but we want to come up with a strategy of the images with pictures to set the right mood and engage the person, so this way they want to continue to go through the site and learn more about you and hopefully become a lead so you can, you know, do business with them.
Beautiful.
Right.
Appreciate it. You know, the other thing I was just going to say, this would probably be a great place for a couple things. One would be a tour, which would be always good for this. But also, don't you think the doctor may be talking as well? Little video on here on the homepage of him speaking about the business might be a really good way to go.
Absolutely. In fact, Robin, would you mind pulling up Libertyville Massage Therapy Clinic? I just talked with this client this morning. It's a client of ours, and she's got these 4 pictures on her slideshow, and we were just talking about it, like what she loves her pictures. She loves the fact that there's 4 and they're changing together. And I said, well, it gives me the right mood about, you know, okay, it looks like a really relaxing place, looks really professional, it looks charming. I see that you know, massage therapy is going on. The pictures make me think that you know, the massage therapists are professionals, but I don't get the little words over the slides that help me really understand that that's that story. But the fact, you know, there's no words on these images, but just looking at these images gives me a certain impression of the place right away as I'm watching this go by. So it could be improved, and we will be improving it. But I want to reiterate that those pictures really drive home a certain point. They have that saying, "Pictures worth 1,000 words." Well, we're flashing 12 pictures in front of somebody within 5 seconds. So what's 5 times or 1,000 times 12 pictures would be 12,000 words, right?
There you
So
go.
we're saying the right 12,000 words. That's going to be key. Now, Terry, to your point, if you scroll down just a little bit, Robin, we also have a video of the owner right here. And if you were to play this video, I think it's like 90 seconds long. She says, "Hi, welcome to the Massage Therapy Clinic." It's actually 57 seconds long, which is perfect. And she talks about how her therapists are carefully selected. They all come from the best massage therapy schools, that she's there to help folks with pain relief and stress reduction, etc. So, and then you get to meet the owner. You get to get a feeling of what the place is like through these different things of the pictures and the video, etc.
Beautiful. All right, so that would be a great way to go for Kaiser Chiropractic as well. So, all right, great stuff. So before we move away from this a little bit, I just wanted to mention, first of all, that we did, you know, Blake did introduce himself. He's in the back doing all the hard work of, you know, taking the show notes and making sure we have everything taken care of on that end. But I do want to just touch base with him real quick. Blake, did we miss anything?
I was looking at the contact page, and I'm a big fan of embedded Google Maps. Not only does Google really like to see that on your site with their little bots, but for anyone on a mobile or desktop device, the interactive Google Map gives people a very quick idea visually of where you're at. Sure, they can see the 790 Gardner Street, Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, but if they were to have, you know, a map with maybe some local landmarks that someone instantly recognized, they would really enjoy that. So it works both for the human side and the Google SEO side. So it's a win-win situation by getting an embedded Google map on there.
Beautiful. Thanks.
Another thing I noticed, but they do have a current copyright date, which is great. I I'm not a fan of the office hours on the right-hand side based off the home page. The purple is just, I'm glad that they have the office hours there, absolutely, but I'm not feeling the purple and the text color. It's kind of rough on my eyes. Um, and I agree with Robin on the request appointment. It's very tiny. It matches the same color as all of your menu navigation buttons, which to me doesn't draw my eye immediately to request appointment. And as a call to action button, it's supposed to stick out as an important way for potential clients to contact you. And if it blends in, it's not sticking out. So without digging into the back end or the Google Plus page, I think that's all I have right now.
Okay, really good stuff. And that for me, as always, I always say, as the sales guy, that button is one of the most important things. And you're right, it doesn't stick out. It doesn't really grab attention. It's not calling to action, and that's exactly what we need to do. So, Paul, did we miss anything else we want to go over?
Well, I did want to say, the whole idea behind the website is it's supposed to generate leads, and it's your 24-hour, 7-day-a-week salesperson. People can visit it at 1 o'clock in the morning, during the middle of the day, or any other time. And if it's not doing a great job of capturing people, drawing people into it, and that call to action isn't in your face, and it isn't doing all those right things to get someone to call you or to fill out that form or whatever it is you want it to do, it's not functioning as a tool. It's just an informational piece on the web. We wanted to really deliver more leads to your business, so this way you can capitalize on those leads and do more business with more people and increase your bottom line. That's what the site is built to do, or that's what it should be built to do. If it's just sitting there and it's not really generating leads on a regular basis, that's not it's not an effective website. It's just an informational brochure online. So you really want to dial in all these things, and there's just hundreds of things we could get into, but just these few will really make a big difference in how people choose to engage you. Just request an appointment. Make that bigger, make it red, have it on every single page, and I bet you'll get more people contacting you and say they want to do business with you.
On that note, I personally, if I come to this site and I look at this homepage, immediately the first thing I'm drawn to is the spinning 3D spine simulator. And not that that's a bad thing, but if you want your clients or potential clients to get lost in a simulator instead of contacting you or looking at your services, I would personally change that if it was me. So maybe you can get a spinning request appointment sign going, but
it's an excellent point. That's an excellent point. It would be great to have a spinning sign appointment. Yeah, set up an appointment. A guy holding a sign spinning around. That would be great. But yeah, you're right. Does the 3D spine simulator generate business? It'd be interesting to look at the analytics here to see what thing is being clicked on the most. Because I wonder if that launch button underneath the spinning guy is getting the most clicks just because the eye is being drawn to it so heavily.
Yeah, could be true.
Indeed.
All right, so I wanted to move along a little bit here. So wanted to check now, Robin, did you want to go through just the maybe mobile friendly and page speed just to see where we're at? And then if you have any anything you want to add to it, and then I really do want to get into a little bit of his some search results and things and see how they're looking on that.
Yeah, just because Blake mentioned the colors here, I mean, you have like really loud, bright colors, which could be good, but I would say for a chiropractic office, you want something more soothing, maybe a monochromatic scheme. So that's something to think about as well. So we have...
Sorry, I'm distracting you, Robin. The mobile-friendly test says that it is mobile-friendly. I sent you the wrong link. Let me send you another one here.
Yes, it is mobile-friendly.
So it says it's mobile-friendly, but look at it. It doesn't look anything like the site. And he actually has a separate mobile site, and that's the link I just sent you. If you pull that one up, you'll see that it's basically a separate mobile site, and the only thing that allows you to do is choose office hours, email. You can maybe click on the phone number, but otherwise it has a visit full site. People want to see every page on your site formatted for their mobile device. Because what happens is that they'll click on this visit full site because they're, let's say, looking for your 3D spine simulator. excuse me, they might be looking for the 3D spine simulator. They might be looking for the request, the login for their current account. They might be looking for, I don't know, anything on your site. But if they had to visit the full site, they're going to have to zoom in and out to look at the content, and that's extremely frustrating, and Google penalizes you for it. So you really should have a responsive website where every single page that exists on your website is also formatted perfectly for mobile devices. And the mobile site that you have now doesn't do that.
Yeah, this is what they'll see. They'll have to scroll right on their phone in order to see this request an appointment.
All right. Well, that's eye-opening.
All right. We can just check. Yeah, it does look like you're mobile friendly. You have a high score, but again, it's only because you have 3 buttons on there. The desktop has an 87 out of 100, which is a high score, but sometimes Google will give you a high score, but the human aspect, if people are clicking off of it and what's called bouncing, if they visit your site and then leave right away, and then you're going to see that your website's not effective even though it has a high score here.
Right, so it's telling us it's mobile friendly, but in real terms, it's really, as far as we're concerned, and based on what we're talking about, not really the case. So that's something that's hugely important and something that concerns me very much. So we'll have to address that, definitely. All right, can we look at getting a little bit of search results on there? Oh, you want to check the speed?
Sure. The speed right now, 1.6 seconds. It's pretty good, but it's let's see. There are a few things you could improve right here, but overall it's pretty fast right now.
All right.
So Lake Geneva Chiropractor I looked up, and also Lake Geneva Chiropractors with an S. You can see that you're not showing up in the top 3. Some of your competitors only have 1 or 2 reviews. If you get 5 reviews, these golden stars show up right here, and they really make you stand out. They can also pop you up into these top 3 results. I can see if I go to more results, which hardly anyone ever does, you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you just need some reviews to get popped up in this top 3 results, and improve your website in a couple other ways, and then you can get into this top 3 right here. Same for chiropractors. Instead of chiropractor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're number 6 on here. And that's in your town. If you want to rank for towns around it, then we need to start taking some more SEO techniques into account so that you can rank for chiropractor or chiropractors around town. If I just put in chiropractors, I'm searching from Chicago, but I would get different results based on where I'm at. And if you want to rank for 2 towns over so that they can drive over, you're going to have to do some more SEO techniques. But I would definitely work on your reviews first. If you have some happy customers, you can get to review you while they're in your office right there. And then that would be probably the best case scenario.
So really, nobody we saw on any of those lists, I don't think, had the stars.
Right.
So that, for people that aren't familiar, so you need 5-star Google reviews to get the stars to show up under your listing. And the reason, there's several reasons it's very important. One of them being, here's an example. So, but if Dr. McLaughlin's didn't have the stars, there's a good chance that the Bennett Chiropractic would be getting the phone calls because of those stars. So that's how important it is. It could sort of supersede where you are on the list of the top 3 if you have them and your competitors don't. All you really have to do is ask your happy customers to give you a Google 5-star review and start collecting those. The other thing it protects you from is if you get a bad review right away and someone gives you a 1-star review for some reason, if you have a whole bunch of 5-star reviews, you might be a 4.9 or a 4.8, but if your first review is a 1-star review, you're a 1-star, and that's gonna cause some issues. So very important to take care of that. That's a fairly simple and cost-effective, because there's no cost, way to get yourself really in a better position and get some more customers right away. So that's important. There's a lot of opportunity here to really move up and get him in a better position. Wouldn't you say, Robin?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Is there anything else we want to search? Is there another town that we would want to just try nearby that we should be taking a look at just to get a feel? I think I saw.
What's right next to Lake Geneva?
I thought I saw that map. Was it Twin Lakes?
Here, you're showing up for chiropractic care in Lake Geneva. So doing some more long tail keywords like that can pop you up in there, just
So there's
depending on
a
what people
two
search.
spot. So some reviews right there would really be great. That would just make all the difference in the world.
If he had the golden stars shining, 5 reviews, get you the golden stars shining. Even though statistically, the first one, Lake Geneva Chiropractic, gets 42% of the clicks. Second result, which is Dr. Kaiser here, gets 12. Third result, Spinal Rehabilitation Center Lake Geneva, gets 8%. So Dr. Kaiser, if he had gold stars, could trump that even if he stayed in the same place if he had his gold stars, because the eye snaps to it, they could get the phone call right there and drastically, exponentially increase the number of leads he's getting from what people see right here on our screen right now.
All right. I wonder if can we take a quick look and see what his Google page looks like?
Yeah.
See if that's got some pictures and if it's optimized at all. What does that look like?
It looks like he's got his hours filled out, phone number, address. So it looks like a really dark picture. So that's just a street view. So you need more pictures on your and more info, and then you also have the added benefit of those reviews. That your reviews will show up when people search for you.
Okay. So more pictures. Is it verified?
I'd have to check here. Let's go into. Okay, so I would take this.
I'm working on finding
Go to
it too.
GYBO.com. And let's check your business. Let's see if you have one. Okay, looks like it's popping up here, but it looks like you also have a duplicate. So you want to have one listing. I can see that this is because you made a listing, probably for each doctor there's a listing. You can do that, but each doctor needs their own address, so you could just put the same address with a different suite number, and they also need a unique phone number. So you can create like a Google phone number that forwards back to the office or to their cell phone.
I just sent you the link to his Google My Business page.
All right, so we can just see
Or one of them.
before I go to that Google My Business page, you can see that if you go to gybo.com or getyourbusinessonline.com, it's sponsored by Google. You can update your business info from right here. You can add a photo. You can do all of these things. So it looks like it's not verified because it says confirm hours. But yeah, we can see there's no picture in here. That's why the picture was of your Google Street View on the other previous page. It's just automatically filling it with the front picture of your business, which is not, it was halfway in the parking lot with some guy standing there, and then you have only half the building showing, so you want to definitely put your own pictures in here. Looks like it is verified, so that means someone came in and either got a postcard in the mail or verified over the phone that you are the owner, so that's right there. There's no logo right here. That's where your logo should be. So this is a missed opportunity to really market yourself online and get reviews, post about yourself. So this is like it's the equivalent of like a Facebook page, but it ranks much better online. So if this is like the #1 page you should have online besides your website.
All right, so we got some work to do on this, but at least it's there and it's verified. So we got to start. But he's either got to combine those two, or is that probably the way to go on that?
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is one that would be a great example of a fully filled out page. You can see that there's multiple pictures, and this is just all in one picture. So it really represents the business. You have the logo here. It fits in there really nicely. You have all the information filled out. You've got the YouTube channel connected. If I want to find out more about you and some reviews, I can leave a review. You can see there's keywords in here, so there's a lot of stuff in here. I'll look at all these reviews. Yeah. So will people actually go to this page? Most likely not. But if it's on here, that means these images and these reviews can show up on Google and you can rank higher on Google.
All right, Paul, did we miss anything in everything we talked about for Kaiser Chiropractic today?
I think we're good. I've been giving Robin links to different things that she can pull up on here, so I wanted to show him that what we did for Julie McLaughlin, because I know Dr. Kaiser knows Dr. Julie, so we helped her with the Google My Business. She actually had didn't she have like 4 of them? So we've been working
Yeah, she
on
had a
getting rid of them.
bunch.
Yeah. So, and the same thing with Dr. Dane Donahue, which I know Dr. Kaiser also knows. He had a whole bunch. We're just finally got them all eliminated, and we have 1, but we have to fill it out from scratch again. So we're working on getting that done, and then we can get to all the fun citation work next. But that's for a different time.
All right. All right, Robin, last words on Kaiser Chiropractic?
No, I think I got it.
Blake, are we good?
Good to hook.
All right. All right, then at this time, I think we're going to move forward. And Robin, we're going to just turn you loose, and you're going to talk to us about blogging.
Yes. So no matter what your business is, you should have a blog, even if it's something completely that you think is completely irrelevant, or let's just say you're like, a lot of times I'll get like service people that will say, "Oh, I don't need a blog. I'm a plumber." Yes, you need a blog. So it's an extra opportunity. Once you have the website up, the thing that that Google does not want to see is a static website. So you need to constantly be updating the content on your website, and a blog is a great way to do that. You don't have to blog every day. You can blog just once or twice a month, and that will still get you the credit on Google. More is better, but it'll still get you above your competitors, especially if your competitors don't have a blog. So most people think for a blog, you just put maybe a paragraph, maybe a couple paragraphs and a picture, you're good to go. That will not get you ranked on Google. Here's how to actually get your blog ranking, and it could be ranking for years. So let's say you try to do Google AdWords, you'll be paying for every click, but as soon as you stop paying, you'll disappear off the page. With a good blog that's fully optimized in the way that I'm about to show you, that blog could last online for years, and people could be calling you and getting to your website for years based on that blog. Okay, so let's go to the blog post here. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is have a great title. So it has to be enticing to the reader, and it has to be including the keywords. So if you want to rank for, chiropractic online or chiropractor, you should have the word chiropractor in your blog post. So a lot of people, that's a huge mistake people make, is that, okay, they're a chiropractor, they assume that, all right, you're already on my website, you're looking at my blog, I'm just going to talk about ways you can prevent your back from hurting, would be the title, like 10 ways to prevent your back from hurting. But do you want to rank for back hurting, or do you want to rank for chiropractor? So you want chiropractor to be in the title. And so let's just go to one of these. Here's an example on the back end. This is a WordPress site. I would highly recommend WordPress. Most of them are, most websites are in WordPress today, and there's a lot of different plugins and items that you can use to enhance your website that aren't available on some more of the cookie cutter style websites. So here's where I enter the title, where to find free images of blog posts. And then if I scroll down here, here's a great example of a plugin. I'm using 2 plugins right now. One's called Yoast, and one's called Page Builder, Beaver Builder. So because I've installed this Yoast plugin, I can now see all of these items. And my goal is to get all of these green. So they can be this gray color, they can be yellow, they could be red, or they could be green. So your goal is to write the blog, but have all of these appear green. For example, the post title having the right amount of characters. Otherwise, when you're on Google, it'll get cut off. You'll only see half the title, then you'll have that ... after. So you definitely want the post title to have the right amount of characters, which is 55 or under. And then, or otherwise Google will rewrite it for you. Then you want to have the permalink with the keyword in it. So that's right here underneath. So here's the title, here's the permalink. And in this case, our keyword is actually the entire title. Normally I would say if you want a long tail keyword, like if people type this into Google a lot, you can use that as your keyword. But most of the time your keyword is going to be pretty short, like free images or find free images or blog posts, something like that. Or images for blog posts could be a keyword. But in this case, it's the whole title. Now let's go to headers. Okay, so you want to have, I'm going to go to Launch Page Builder here so I can see the rest of the blog. Most of the time you have, you'll write the blog right in here, but what this plugin allows you to do is see it in real time. So you can see exactly what it looks like without having to go back and forth and preview it. Okay, so now I can see that this is exactly what the blog will look like when I publish it. So I've got a picture up here, and then you can see these are the headers. So you can see they're in a bigger font right here. Okay, so why are headers important? It's because Google can read them. So if Google was a human, what they would do is skim the article really quick to see if that's what they're looking for. So you'd probably skim, a human would probably skim the first, they look at the picture, the title, click on it from Google, and then see the first sentence, and then maybe they'd scan some of these headers. Google does the exact same thing. They scan these headers to see, oh, is this a blog article that I want to read? So that's why you have to take this. See, this is just regular paragraph text, but if you click on this, it's a heading. So the title's always heading 1, and then you're going to have heading 2 for the second most important items. Then you can see these are a little bit smaller. These are heading 3s. So the point is you have to have headings in here somewhere. And then your keyword has to be in at least one of the headers. So our keyword again is where to find free images for blog posts. So you can see where to find free images for blog posts. We also need to find the keyword at least a few times in the text. It has to be between 0.5% of the text to 2% of the text, or 3%. If it's any more than that, it's going to be considered keyword stuffing. So if you want to rank for a chiropractor, you can't just write chiropractor all the time in all of these paragraphs because it won't make sense when people read it, and Google can tell that you're trying to stuff words into there. Okay, so let's go back to this blog article. So we covered headers, it includes a keyword. Not every header has to include the keyword, but at least a few of them, depending on how long your blog article is. Now, this is also very important. Google is based on links. So here's an internal link, here's an external link. Why do you need to have these links on your website? Because Google ranks you based on how many links you have going in and out of your website and the quality of those links. So you can see on here that we do have a few links. We have Great SEO is linked right there, and let's see where that goes. Okay, that's an internal link, so it opens in the same tab. You can do either open in the same tab or open in a new tab. But you can see it links you to the search engine optimization page. So that's the internal link. But Google also wants to see credit for other people. So you want to link to an external link, and okay, this should open up in a new tab. So I can fix that right here by pressing edit on this. Here's how you would do that. So so it's right here. I'm going to go ahead and edit this and press this little button, open in a new tab. And now when people click on that, you're not directing them away from your site. So I'm going to go ahead and publish that. And that's going to load right there. I'll reload that. And now let's test the link. Alright, so you can see now it opens in a new tab, so you can still go back here. It's especially important on a phone, because a lot of times they'll just get redirected somewhere. Okay, so you can see that this is not a competitor and it's a very useful article. I'd probably recommend this to be even a deeper link here, maybe a few more slashes. I can show you an example of a deep link would be like blogtemplatetoaster.com / 9 tips for using social media effectively / it would just have more slashes in it. It would be a deeper link so that Google knows what you're trying to link to. And then let's go back to here. So that's internal and external link. Okay, so now we want to categorize the blog post. On WordPress, that's on the right side of your screen. You don't want it uncategorized, but it can be any category you want. So it could be under chiropractor, chiropractic care, or news and chiropractor care. So it could be anything that you want. Then the next one would be the metadata and Yoast plugin. So we did see that earlier on a preview. Let's go back to there. And you'll notice that's not under the page builder plugin here. It's under edit post. So I can go back to this. If I wanted to get to it from the front end, I would just log into my website and click posts. So let's go ahead and see if we got all greens here. All right. So this one's gray. Your focus keyword contains one or more stop words. I'm not sure what that is. Do you know what that is, Paul?
There's a little link that describes it a little bit further. I haven't looked into that. That's something new to Yoast that I just noticed as well.
Yeah, that hasn't been on here yet, so that was an update.
That's the cool thing about, yeah, I think they've had this blog on their site for a while, but they haven't added this whole stop words thing to the plugin. But anyway, there's it has something to do with the grammatical way your keyword is written, rather than any sort of particular SEO thing, so a technical thing, meaning that okay, the way the word is written, it has quote unquote stop words, and maybe the topic isn't as clear as a result. However, the reason why I chose this keyword when I put this together is because I used that tool, Answer the Public, to choose this particular question, and that basically evaluates what people are typing in. So, which brings up a good point. Even though that keyword I chose or keyword phrase contains stop words, quote unquote, um, that doesn't mean that a version without the stop words will rank better. If the data tells me that many more many more people are searching this version of the keyword or these words in this order, that's what I should probably be using, because I can get a lot more traffic as a result.
Yeah, this is a very cool tool where you just pop in a word like blog posts, and this is what real people are searching in Google. So it's a great way to generate some content and some traffic. So if you're like, okay, I want to write a blog post about this item. So let's use the example of chiropractor. Okay, so it looks like there's 133 questions we can choose from. Sometimes I like to look at the data view because it's a little easier to see. But you can see all these phrases that people are actually typing into Google. Then you can take one of these and write a blog post about it. Then the next time someone searches for that, you can show up for that.
Oh, that's great. That's a great tool. But so, Robin, while we're going through all this, I just had a question for you.
Sure.
When you've gone through a lot of different things that are involved in putting a blog together, how important is it to do all of the things that you're talking about, as opposed to just someone who's just maybe grabbing one or two of these things and using them as they move forward?
Yeah, well, the most important thing is to put the keyword throughout all of these items. So you want the keyword everywhere. You want it in the back of your pictures, you want it in your book title, you want it in the meta description, you want the keyword everywhere. So that's the point that we're trying to get across with this, is that if you don't tell Google what your keyword is and put it all around the article, but not in a spammy way, then Google will not know to rank you. So the combination of all of these together is the strongest way possible, but in general, you just want the keyword everywhere.
Okay.
If I could chime in on that question too, Terry.
Sure.
It also, yeah, can I just do a couple of them? Sure. Will it be as good as doing all of them? No. But when we're looking at doing SEO and we want to get in front of maybe somebody else, another competitor that's in front of me that ranks better than me for this keyword, you can go to their site, see how well they're doing these things, and you just have to do better than them, essentially. So with Dr. Julie McLaughlin, we are specifically targeting the key term lose weight, and the local hospital in the area had an article that was ranking quite well as because they had a page on their site about losing weight, or lose weight was the keyword. So what we did is we created a page on Dr. Julie McLaughlin's website for lose weight, and we made sure that we hit all these things that Robin just covered, and she got in front of the hospital. So, and when we looked at the hospital's page, they didn't do anywhere near as many things here that we just covered. So, if you're looking to get ahead of your competition, you have to do more than them. And in the world of search engine optimization, the word optimization is really all about filling out as much as you can, as best as you can. So can you just do two? Sure, but you should really just do all of them. Spend the time to do it all, do all of them, and then if your competitors start going after you, you'll have so many more than they do, because they're probably not going to get all the great information that we're sharing with you now, because it's not all in one place, and you can't really find all this information in one place, because there's just tips all over the place. In terms of how to do SEO and on-page optimization. This really covers comprehensively everything that you can do that Google likes, and get your keyword in the article as many times as possible without making them Google angry or getting penalized or having any keyword stuffing, etc.
Yeah, and on that note, it changes all the time. So some of these things can change overnight, and then you're going to have to go back and redo your blog post. But for the most part, this is pretty standard.
All right. So generally speaking, for a lot of the things we're talking about here today, whether it's your Google page, whether it's doing a blog, that optimizing, filling everything out completely, doing it as best you can all the way through, will really get you the results you're looking for. Covering all our bases. All right, Robin, what else do we have?
So metadata is very important, and metadata is just a fancy word for what your Google result looks like. So you can see this is one Google result. That's how it'll show up. But you have to be better than the other 10 Google results on there. So if you looked up, where to find, if I looked this up on Google, am I doing better than the other 10 results on there? You can see 20 sites with free images, 17 amazing sites with breathtaking free stock photos. So that one's really standing out to me. 53 plus, the 53 might be too many. But I can see that there's 2 results there, so that's why that one stood out.
You say my title sucks, Robin?
No, I'm not saying your title sucks. Mega list on where to find free images for blog posts. Actually, I'll show you something. That was recommended by that backlinko video. There's a couple words that you can use that will basically rank any blog post, and we can probably see some on here. One of the words is today, like where to find free images for blog posts today, or right now, like find free images right now for blog posts, or fast, works quickly, step by step, easy, quick, simple. These are all words that those have been proven to have higher click-throughs because what people are impatient and they want to find stuff fast. So any of those words would definitely work. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the Yoast plugin. So you can see we have a ton of greens here. So how do we get these greens? The keyword has to be in the first paragraph of the copy. In this case, for some reason, Yoast is not working because I do see it here in the first paragraph of the copy. It's right here. Where to find free images for blog posts. We also have it down here. And we can see that if I go back to the Yoast plugin, the images contain the alt tags. We'll talk about images in just a second. The focus keyword appears in the URL of this page. That's where it was important to have it in the title, but also in the permalink right here. It appears in 1 out of 4 subheadings in the copy. While not a major ranking factor, this is beneficial. Okay, so it's telling us to put the keyword in at least one of the headers. So if you have no headers, if you're just typing on your blog posts, you'll have it, 0 headers, and 0 out of 4 times it'll show up. So that's very important. Keyword density is 0.9%. That should be, it's green right here, so it should be between 0.5 and 3%. You don't have to actually track that because Yoast will track it for you. It'll either be red, yellow, or green. So it's found 3 times, so it's a shorter article, so 3 times is good enough. The meta description contains the focus keyword. All right, that's something that we didn't talk about yet. So you have 3 different things. You have the meta title, the meta description, and the meta keyword. So here's the keyword, so that has to show up somewhere in the title, and you can see that it does. And it has to be, so if I click on this, it has to be under a certain amount of characters, which is 55. If it's 56 or 57, that's fine. So then we also have to have a description in here, and that has to be 155 characters about. It can be, 140 to 160, as long as it's somewhere around there. And it has to have, again, the keyword in there. So here's the keyword, so we're good to go with that. And it also has to be convincing. So is this convincing? So you use the word today here. That's one of those big keywords, so that's great. That'll stand out on this, the list of that Google page. So then you have to ask yourself, would I click on my own listing? So if this was on the first page of Google and there's 10 other results, would I click on my own? And then you can also check on your Google Analytics if you actually are getting a good click-through rate on that, if people are actually clicking. All right, so we did that. And you can see how detailed this is. If you do all of these items, your blog's going to start ranking a lot better, or at least pop you up above your competitors with all this new content and the keyword right in there in the blog. The other thing is you want to vary the keywords. So you don't want to always write a blog with the same keyword for every single one of your blogs. Pick like your top 5 keywords, and then you can always write blogs about those. All right, so we've got 35 character minimum, 65 character maximum. So 55 is recommended for Google, but you can go up to that number before it getting cut off. Sometimes it will get cut off even if you have like 62 characters. It just depends on the Google result. The copy score. So it's easy to read. A lot of times this one I will not get a score. I'll have a red or orange on that one, but which is okay, because if you have let's say you have a subject that's a little bit more intense and your audience is not the general public, it's a business to business kind of a thing, you might have some more technical items in your blog. The reading test, I mean, it's good to have a higher score on here, but normally if you can't pass that, that's okay too, as long as you think that the article is easy to read or you have some friends read it and it's easy to understand, and then this should be fine. That one's more of a, it's not as much of a ranking factor as it is for humans. The text contains 317 words, so the minimum's 300. So we just meet the minimum, but let's say your competitor had all his blogs are 500 plus words, then you want to start writing longer blogs. You've never used this focus keyword before, very good. But this one's variable too, because yes, you want to use different keywords, but at the same time, you don't want to rank for everything under the sun. You want to keep it focused to what your services are. And you can vary it as well. So let's say it's chiropractor. A completely different focus keyword would be chiropractors with an S. So those would be 2 different keywords. But then you can do massage therapy and massage therapists. Those would be 2 completely different ones. And then you can add long tail keywords, like for example, blog posts would be maybe the word here, or free images, but the long tail would be free to find, where to find free images for blog posts. So the long tail for chiropractor could be best chiropractors in town, or best chiropractors in Lake Geneva would be a long tail keyword. And yeah, so this is what we were talking about earlier. It compares to the competition. So as long as you have this all green right here, mostly green, you should be good to go on this blog post.
So we're getting towards the end here, and I want to just sum everything up. Is there anything we haven't talked about that you think is important, or anything you want to just sum up for me? And as you're critiquing this particular blog, make sure you're careful because your boss wrote that blog. Just want to point that out.
Well, just the picture. You have to make sure that the picture, I mean, that's really the most important part of the blog. It has to be clear. You can see this one has a border. It has to load quickly. So that means it has to be under 100 kilobytes. Google will definitely penalize you if you have slow loading pictures above 100 kilobytes. You can only use the photo once on your website, and definitely so it shouldn't be linked to anywhere. It should be, if you can't click it, is good. And it also has to have the alt tags. So for example, if I go into page builder again, so Google can't read your image, but it can read if you name it correctly in the file name. So when you save it, don't save it as picture 1, picture 2, or chiropractor picture 1, chiropractor picture 2. That will not add anything to your website. You want it to say the keyword in there, and then you also want to have it describe the picture. So for example, this was probably saved as a file name. This is the file name. Where to find free blog images? Oh yes, they are free. I probably heard of some of these numbers, but yeah. But the alt text says, oh yes, it's free. Where to find free images for blog posts and these awesome websites. So you can see that they're different. This has to be different than this. And also, your meta description has to be different. You can't just copy and paste a sentence in here and paste it in the description. It has to be an original sentence, and your file name and alt text have to be original. So you can see that it is a lot of work to do your blog the right way rather than just writing text and a picture. But if you do all of these little things to your blog, it'll start ranking very, very highly, and you'll actually get the credit, and you'll get traffic to your site, and everything will work together. You'll rank higher on Google. So all of these little things together will help boost you on the rankings.
All right. Well, Robin, that was awesome. You did a great job on that. Appreciate it. Paul, I did not ask, and I want to do it. I know we're running out of time, but wanted to make sure that we address that people can get on here and ask us questions. Did we miss anybody who had a question today?
No, I was watching the questions all the time. We didn't have any questions come through, but we do encourage that. The reason why we have this show is not only to deliver some of the valuable information we have to share that will make an impact on how you rank on Google. So of course we're delivering that information at no charge during these webinars, and you can learn from us and make a difference for yourself. And when you get some more business, you can hire us to have us get it done for you. But if you do come to the webinar, you can interact and ask us questions through the Google Hangouts, and we'd love to answer those questions for you. So if you ever want to come in and ask us any questions, or if you know anyone that needs some help, send them our way to the webinar, and they can get some of our great advice, and we can answer their specific questions or address some of their specific issues, or how do they get in front of their competitors? What are they doing that I'm not doing? We'll take a look, and we'll see what we can do to give you some advice to make something happen for yourself.
Beautiful. And, reach out to us if you want to do what we did for the chiropractor today, Kaiser Chiropractor. We're more than happy to feature you and get some of those things done. But we do want to answer your questions, so we want you to jump on, reach out, and bring some of your issues to us, and let us help you take care of that for you. So we got to sum it up, guys. We're running out of time. So I want to just run through again that we appreciate you coming. Again, the basic thing that we want you to know that we do is we draw and bring new customers looking for exactly what you do to you. We do that with responsive web design, search engine optimization. We can help you on Amazon as well to get customers for you there and really get your product selling. And we can help you with a Google Street View, the 360 virtual tour. If you like this webinar, we would love to have you give us a 5-star Google review, which you can do right on our homepage. And Paul, Robin, what did I miss? Anything before we sum it all up?
I think Terry's got it covered.
All right. Well, listen, we appreciate everybody coming. Guys, great job with everything today, Robin. Blog stuff was great. And we look forward to seeing you next week when we do our webinar at 3, is it 3 o'clock next week? I believe that's the case.
Yes, it
All
is.
right.
Central.
So it's Central. We're going to thank you. All right. So we're going to sign off from Awesome Dynamic, and thanks for being here.
Thanks, guys.